Welcome, Leo. This is your weekly focus for May the 7th through to the 13th, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you, Tilly, for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Let's turn to the cards, see what they have to reveal about the energy and how we can use them in a positive light in order to go forward. And we have the Sun. We're feeling strong, we're feeling vibrant, we want to move forward, we've learned the lessons, we've gained the wisdom, we've gained the understanding, we want to build on our successes now. Absolutely. It's about you this week. Definitely about you this week. The High Priest. Well, are you giving yourself the benefit of that knowledge? Are you acknowledging that you have talents, abilities? This is going in, this is tapping into the, I want to say inner warrior, but it's the inner teacher, the mentor. So your intuition trying to lead you in a certain direction. Now you may be kind of at war with yourself this week. Lack of a better word, you're at war with yourself. You see where you want to be and you can't figure out why you're not there yet, because what else do you need to do? For goodness sakes. And it's time to look inwardly. It's time to understand where healing needs to be in our life, or some kind of closure or completion. That energy is in fact weighing us down and not allowing us to experience new beginnings, new starts, new opportunities. And it's a time to be honest with yourself, and I don't want you to get negative. I don't want you to beat yourself up. Don't want you to start saying, well, if I would have done this or I would have done that, I'd be a lot further ahead today. I don't know why I did that stupid move. Well, I don't know why I turned in that direction. That's not the kind of energy you want to tap into. You want to tap into, you know what? I am really good at this. So what is not allowing me to express that in the world to the highest denomination? Like, what holds me back? What is that fear? What is that limitation? What is that perception? So I can heal from it, or I can put closure on it. I can allow the ending in that needs to be. Remember, we are in full moon energy, so it's not a time to step into those new beginnings. It's not a time to start new adventures, but it's a time to contemplate of what's really holding you back from being as successful or having the abundance or feeling that well-being or that balance as much as you could be. There's the Seven of Pentacles. Well, what are you cultivating? Where are you putting your focus, and where does your focus need to be? Is it on something unrelated to you? Are you buying into somebody else's agenda? I think that'll be abundantly clear to you this week if that's happening. Where does your focus need to be? Where do you need to put your attention? Where do you need to put your energy? Where do you maybe need to put your resources or your time? And you're not. Where is the imbalance? It could be work and career. It could be home, work and career over home finances. It could be looking at what you get and what you receive, and if there's a balance there. And are you giving too much of yourself, or are you not giving enough of yourself? Are you being greedy with your time, your energy, maybe your talents, your abilities, and not sharing them with the world? Or maybe you're just sharing a little bit too much, and it's time to turn that into something that's going to actually bring abundance into your life. Overriding energy for this week is the Seven of Wands. Oh, we could be at odds with people. Be careful of the arguments, okay? Listen with two ears, talk with one mouth. So we need to listen twice as much, and we need to speak half as often. We may want to stand on top of our hill and shout to the world exactly what we're doing and why it's right and why everybody should be on board with us. And that's not the way to go about it. We want people to follow us because they respect us, because they know um, where we're going and they want to be a part of it, rather than us forcing them into our perception of the path forward and how no other perception can stand a chance against ours. Be very careful of that kind of talk, of where your beliefs, your perceptions, and forcing them on other people. It could create a lot of, uh, ruffling of feathers. It could be burning bridges. It could be taking a small disagreement and making it into this huge argument. So listen a lot more than you're speaking. Think through your words. Think through what you truly want to get out there. And remember that you're trying to win the war, not necessarily the battle. So it's okay to walk away from some things and let them believe that they're right if they're not right. Because that's the way you will perceive it. Whether or not you are right or wrong, that doesn't really come into play. So don't be too quick to want everybody on your page. It's okay for them to be walking their path at their speed. Underlying energy for this week is the Ace of Swords. Oh, there's great potential for you going forward. Whenever aces appear, it talks about a new path that is about to emerge in your life, not one that you are presently on. So even if you are having wonderful experiences in your life, know that more wonderful experiences are opening up to you as you go forward. This is taking your truest wants, desires, dreams, ambitions, goals, and from the bowels of the earth and shooting them to the heavens. That messenger is going to fly your wishes, your hopes, your dreams, your desires, but it's going to be something that is not going to be something that you want to do. I think meditation or prayer or times of reflection is probably going to be at the bottom of your list this week unless you move it into a time slot. So be very aware that you need to take time to maybe journal or say an affirmation or sit in just quiet reflection of where you want to go, of who you want to become, what you want to do going forward. Now everybody is getting 2 cards for work and career and 2 cards for love and relationships because Aries got it, so everybody gets it this week. We have the 2 of Pentacles for work and career, and we have the Fool. Oh, what exciting cards these are for you. So, 2 of Pentacles. Where am I and where am I going? What do I want to get out of my job or my career? And what am I getting out of it? I think you get a chance to rewrite the story with the Fool card here. So if you are a journaler, if you are journaling, please, this is so important, is to write down where the disconnect is between where you want to be and where you are. And focus on that new path, that new beginning, that new start. Next week the energy really changes, right? But the one I thought of immediately was Uranus moving into Taurus, which is your work and career, which brings those surprising, just out of the blue, new experiences, new opportunities to you. So it's very important to reflect this week. It's very important to journal, if at all possible, journal this week about where you really want to go when it comes to your career, when it comes to what you want, or the statement you want to make about yourself when it comes to your job, your career, what you do. Okay, now this is job and career. It could be about your finances, absolutely. It could be about how you define yourself. Maybe if I were to meet you, you would tell me more about your activities within the community or your relationships than you would about work and career. So what defines you? Maybe it's how you take care of a family, a group of people perhaps. So what defines you? And it's really rewriting that story. It's throwing the old story completely in the garbage of what got you to here and where do you want to go going forward. Love and relationships, we have the Nine of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Cups. Do I have those right? Yes, I do. It's backwards for me. All I do is I look at myself when I talk. So I want to make sure the cards are showing up right for you. So we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Oh, when it comes to love, when it comes to family, when it comes to relationships, and when we talk about relationships and love, we could be talking about a soulmate, we could be talking about a lover, but we could be talking about a parent or a child or a sibling or a best friend or somebody that you're close to in the neighborhood or the community, work, could be a co-worker. First of all, you love yourself. See what you bring to the table. Understand that. But it's almost like you are looking towards the new journey forward. That you have learned a lot about relationships, your part you play, your role that you play, what you expect out of a relationship. And this is really about where you have honored yourself and where you have not honored yourself within relationships, where you let people overstep their boundaries, where you allowed disrespect or a lack of support. And this is loving yourself enough within each relationship that you have that you expect those things going forward. And it's almost like you are stepping into a new experience very shortly. This is a preparation. This is definitely a preparation. Everybody's been getting this preparation kind of reading. This week we want to prepare ourselves for the new beginnings. We have Mars going into Aquarius. We have Mercury going into Taurus. We have Uranus going into Taurus. We have the new moon in Taurus. And then the moon quickly jumps into Gemini. What else do we have happening? We have the sun that's going to be moving, right? From Taurus into Gemini. So the energy really changes next week, and it changes for new beginnings because we have that new moon energy in there and the sun moves. So we're really looking at, this is very much an inward week for us, or we should be using it as an inward week. We do have the Seven of Wands on the top telling us that we might try to push our values onto somebody else, that it's our way or the highway kind of approach, and we should be more reflective of what we want, of honoring ourselves, of expecting that respect or that adoration or that love or that sensuality or that passion within relationships, and how we can take a positive step forward to actually create those relationships in our life. Strong relationships, full of vitality, full of support, full of joy and happiness. Spirituality, we have the Nine of Wands. We're going to go into a new experience. A lot of people have been in this new experience, kind of spirituality, moving in their life this week. Well, you have walked many paths and learned a lot about your spirituality, how you define God or the universe or source or angels, or what you believe in, what you don't believe in. You could be, tapped into astrology at one phase of your life, and then you went over to tarot, and then you got interested in tea leaves, or maybe it was meditation. And you're ready to go forward. You're ready to take that combined knowledge and blend it or meld it into a single definition of who you are going forward in your spirituality. So it's kind of like a new day is dawning in your spirituality. It's like an awakening. It's like, you know, a spiritual awakening could actually happen for you this weekend, or this week, maybe this weekend. Since I said that, I don't know why. So maybe more towards the weekend, something just, all of a sudden you get that clarity, that aha moment that this is it. I understand, or you find a new strength within something that you already do. And very much when that card is in your spirituality, pay attention to your intuition when it comes to moving forward. Don't let your ego push you in the wrong direction. Okay? It's what brings in happiness for you, joy into you, not somebody else's agenda, not anybody else's definition of happiness or abundance or joy in their life. Don't look at their definition and think that you have to obtain that same lifestyle or that same experience in order to feel the same way they do, because it doesn't necessarily bring that kind of joy or happiness. Listening to our intuition will allow that to happen in our life. Listening to our ego makes us compete with each other rather than trying to enrich ourselves. And talking about enriching ourselves, we got health and well-being, and it's the hangman. Oh, we are thinking things through. Health and well-being. What serves us? What doesn't serve us? What are the bad habits or the bad behaviors in our life? What do we need to change in our life? What do we need to grow strong in our life? Where do we need healing in our life? Where do we need to allow it in our lives so that we can move forward? Maybe it's finally being able to release us a fear or an anxiety that we have carried along with you. Do you have anxiety attacks? This is a time when, through meditation, through reflection, you can actually understand what are the triggers so that you can bypass that or lessen the response of a depression or an anxiety overtaking you, overwhelming you, and putting you behind in your path rather than consistently moving forward in your path. This is about treating ourselves well, surrounding ourselves with a routine that works for us, that benefits us, that raises our vitality. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.